This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for December 23, 2022, vendor killed days before Christmas birthday. This Christmas Day will be painful for Sandra Scott as she will be grappling with the death of her cousin Leon Furry English, who was shot dead along with his girlfriend in Commodore District in Lindsay, St. Catherine on Thursday morning. English, who would have celebrated his birthday on December 25, was a vendor in the Lindsay Square, selling drinks and snacks from his hand cart. After wrapping up business early Thursday morning, English chartered a taxi to take him home. According to police reports, he was unloading his goods from the vehicle at approximately 1:45 a.m. when armed men pounced upon them. English received multiple gunshot wounds to the upper body and was found dead, lying on his back by the police. A woman who has been identified as English's girlfriend and who had been traveling in the vehicle with the two men was also found dead, lying on her stomach with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to her abdomen and upper left arm. The taxi driver, who was shot in the left buttock and upper left section of the back, managed to drive himself to the Lindsay Hospital, where he was treated and transferred to another medical facility. He is said to be in stable condition. On Thursday, Scott told the news that she was still at a loss for words hours after the tragedy. She explained that she shared a very close relationship with English and loved her cousin dearly. Heartbroken by the tragedy and that English had not lived to celebrate his birthday, Scott revealed that she received the dreadful news sometime after 4 a.m. before leaving home for work. "I can't believe up until now," she said. She said that his brutal and sudden demise has shaken her to the core, adding that she had been trying not to think of the incident and the road ahead, noting that every year she and English would spend a Christmas Day together while he sold the goods in the town square. "Year on year, we're always in the street. When I go in the street, I always stand with him and we enjoy ourselves," she said. "He's so nice, I can't begin to tell you how nice," she added. English, who is survived by his son, was well known in the community as he was a contestant in numerous stagings of the Ray and Nephew Contender Boxing Series. He trained at the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and the Sports Gym before the competition. A neighbor remembered English as a hard worker. "Me know him as a good man in the area still. Him just come in at night time and go back out at morning time," he said. The neighbor added that English was very driven and humble and that he was working towards earning enough funds to complete his house. "Just when the man a build up him foundation, them kill him. We can't believe it," he said. Man who chopped a friend gets huge slash in sentence. A mentally challenged man who was sentenced to 23 years and 10 months after he stabbed and chopped his friend during a dispute over a room has had his sentence slashed by more than half on appeal. On Tuesday, the Court of Appeal judges set aside the original sentence and replaced it with 9 years and 4 months after concluding that the trial judge had erred in imposing the sentence in accordance with the sentencing guidelines and that the sentence was manifestly excessive. It is our view that although at the outset the sentencing judge had identified relevant factors for her consideration, she erred in principle when she failed to demonstrate that she balanced the relevant sentencing principles appropriately, how she had arrived at the provisional sentence in light of the mitigating and aggravating factors, and what a level of discount was applied, if any, Justice Marcia Dunbar Green said in handing down the judgment. Ramon Murray was originally sentenced by Justice Sonia Bertram Linton in the Manchester Circuit Court in March 2019 after pleading guilty. He subsequently appealed the sentence on the grounds that it was manifestly excessive and outside of the normal range for the offense, and that the judge erred in law by failing to adequately demonstrate how the court arrived at the sentence. Atiba Dyer, who argued on the appellant's behalf, said that the judge had identified the statutory maximum, the usual starting point, and the range of sentences for the offense, but failed to identify the starting point applied by the court in arriving at the sentence. Dyer further submitted that Justice Bertram Linton had departed from the guidelines and imposed a sentence that was beyond what was acceptable in law. He added that there was no jurisdiction for the judge's excessive sentence and that she did not express her reason for doing so. The attorney pointed to the sentencing guidelines, which set out the normal range for wounding with intent from 5 to 20 years and with a usual starting point at 7 years. Dyer also argued that the judge had not given his client a discount of up to 50% for his early guilty plea or credited him for the 1 year and 2 months that he had spent in custody before the sentencing. Andre Wedderburn, counsel for the Crown, conceded that the mathematical formula employed by Justice Bertram Linton was flawed, although she had correctly identified the usual range for the sentence and the starting point for the offense. In arriving at the new sentence, the appellate judges applied a starting point of 10 years to reflect the seriousness of the offense and added 6 years for the aggravating factors, but subtracted 2 years for the mitigating factors, which included the appellant's mental condition. From the 14 years, a discount of 25% was deducted from the early guilty plea, along with the time spent on remand. The judges also ordered a psychiatric treatment for the appellant. The facts outlined are that on January 22, 2018, the complainant and Murray, who both lived at his grandfather's home, had an argument after Murray indicated that he wanted the room that the complainant was occupying. The complainant agreed to give up the room, but the applicant, who was drinking and smoking, returned minutes later and threatened to kill the complainant if he did not leave. Later that day, the complainant was sitting in the room when the applicant visited him and a fight ensued. Murray then used a knife to stab the complainant in his side, abdomen, and the chest, and also tried to strangle him with his shirt. Murray's grandfather and a woman intervened and parted them, but Murray then chased and chopped the complainant on his back, left hand, and the left thumb with a machete. When cautioned for the offense, the applicant said, "Him diss me." After he was charged, Murray further said under caution, "But him not dead. Me did have to run him down and chop him because me no want become another lamb to the slaughter." Westmoreland wanted man killed. The Westmoreland police are reporting that an alleged gunman who was shot and killed during a confrontation with the police in Betheltown, Westmoreland on Tuesday, was on the list of wanted men in the parish and was being sought for multiple murders. He has been identified as Sean Gordon, otherwise called Tovel, laborer of Galloway District in Betheltown. Reports are that about 8 p.m., a team of officers carried out an intelligence-led operation in Galloway in search of Gordon, who was wanted for murder. Investigations led the officers to a house where Gordon was alleged to have been hiding, and upon the approach of the lawmen, a man was seen walking from the dwelling. On seeing the police, he allegedly pulled a handgun and opened fire at them. The fire was returned and Gordon was hit during the confrontation. A Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 4 live 9mm rounds was taken from him. The wounded man, who was later identified as Gordon, was rushed to the Savannah Lamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Following the fatal shooting, the police reported that Gordon was being sought for some time now in relation with several incidents of murder around the parish. Gordon and a man known only as Pilot were being sought for the December 22, 2018 murder of 24-year-old Chavoy Turner and other murders, one officer told the news. Turner was shot and killed about 9:15 p.m. in Galloway District by 3 men, one of whom was later positively identified as Gordon. The investigators related that one of Gordon's cronies, who was known as a Tickman, was also fatally shot by the police in 2019, while the other, known as Pilot, is still on the run and is being sought by the police. Tuesday's fatal shooting is now being investigated by a team from the Independent Commission of Investigations. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.